What is up, everyone? Welcome to Reality Room Spoilers with Paul, bringing you the latest on Big Brother 19 live feeds. Okay, so this is basically just going to be a video telling you guys about what happened right after the HOH competition that happened tonight. I'm shooting this at 11 p.m. Pacific time, 2 a.m. Eastern time. Okay, so directly after the HOH competition, I turn on the feeds. I see Paul talking to Cody and Jessica, and Mark was in the room as well. At some point, Mark and Cody left, but Paul was basically saying, and he's been relaying this to basically throughout the entire couple of hours to Paul, to Cody, Jessica, Mark, and Elena, that it was not a move to backstab them. It was a group decision that he thought to himself was strategically beneficial. He started talking bad about Ramses. He's like, oh, he won the 25,000, mentioned the banner again, called him sneaky, this, that, and the other thing. Paul's basically covering his own butt, which, you know, actually makes a lot of sense to do in this scenario, because there was 7 people in this vote, and he wants to make sure that the people know that he's not the one spearheading this like backstab to Cody and Jess, even though he was the one spearheading the backstab of Cody and Jess. So yeah, Paul's just basically doing damage control, and Cody and Jess, I mean, they're not really buying it. I mean, they kind of understand that, yeah, Paul's just saying what he has to, and they don't really trust him. Mark, on the other hand, said that Paul made some pretty good points to him, because when he was talking to Mark and Elena, he was basically like, well, I didn't tell Elena because Elena would have told Mark, and Mark was getting in close with Cody, and he didn't want Cody and Jess to know, because they would get a little over emotional. He didn't want Mark to know because he'd get too over emotional. So I mean, again, Paul's just making up reasons now. We all know his real intention was to just, you know, put a real dent in Jess, Cody, Mark, and Elena. All right, so some other things that happened. Basically, we had a lot of talk about what the temptation is amongst the house guests after Jessica made her play in the house, which I thought was a very good play. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, why the hell would she tell? But let me know down below if you think it's a good play. But I'll explain my reasoning why. So when Jessica went up and basically said, yeah, I have this temptation and I'm safe for a few weeks, I think is a good idea, because one, I feel like her and Cody would have been in trouble this week anyway. So I know, like, Paul will probably make the argument. He'll probably say, oh, well, if you didn't say that, I wouldn't have put you guys on the block. I believe he would have put them on the block anyway. And let me know down below if you disagree with me. So, and for those of you who don't know, Paul's plan is to flush out the temptation this week by putting Cody and Jess on the block. His theory is that when he puts them on the block, it might be blocked, or something will be revealed to that effect. So that's basically what he's going to be doing this week. Of course, we all know that Jessica has the halting hex, which would allow her to stop the eviction. So if they were to be on the block next Thursday, they would obviously halt the eviction. Now, what's fairly interesting is this new game twist. It was not revealed to the house guest yet. It's not going to be revealed until tomorrow before nominations, I believe. So potentially what could happen is that Cody could be safe from winning this temptation competition, and then Jessica could win veto, or vice versa, and they can both be safe anyway. In which case, which is a very unlikely scenario, mind you, very, very unlikely, but it could happen. So if that were to happen, then the temptation would not be used this week, and it would be saved for next week, if it's even necessary at all, in which case would be rather interesting. So couple more things. We had Mark and Josh kind of like have a little hash out again. So Josh does not like Mark. Ever since that pickle juice incident, like I've said in previous videos that they've like apologized to one another before, but Josh clearly does not like Mark. So this morning, when Mark was waking up, he was doing like the pots thing that Evil Dick did in season 8, obviously. Only he was actually using 2 pans and knocking them off, and it was just pissing off Mark. So when Mark confronted Josh today after the vote, Josh was basically like, "Listen, I will live in the house with you. I don't have to like you." And Mark is just like, "Listen, that's fine. You don't have to like me. Just don't like do stuff to my bed. Just, it's fine. You can say whatever you want. You can call me a liar, whatever you want to call me. You can not like me as a person, whatever it is. Just don't touch my bed, basically." And I was just like, okay, that's kind of interesting. So some other things. When Mark and Elena were talking, well, actually, when Mark was talking to Jason went to bat. Jason went to bat for Paul because Jason told Mark that Paul was not targeting him, which we kind of know is not the case. We know that Paul's targets are basically at this point, as I've said earlier, Jess, Cody, Mark, Elena. So it's going to be one of the 4 this week, no matter what, unless the den is used, of course. So for Paul, and he was basically saying, yeah, Paul's probably still good with you, and I'm still good with you, and I'll make sure that you're good. That if there is a problem with you and Paul, that I'll be able to step in. Now, obviously, I'm not sure if Jason's telling Mark the truth. I really don't think he is. Jason has his alliances right now. Let me know down below if you agree or disagree with that. Mark is definitely on the outside right now, and it's going to take a little while for him to kind of get back into the mix. And he's basically been on the outside, in my view, ever since Cody dropped the Dominique and Mark thing to Paul and Christmas 2 weeks ago. Since then, he hasn't really been on the inside, as you guys have probably noticed. I'm trying to think if there's anything else here. Oh, so Elena is fucking pissed about this vote. So she was like, basically said she wants to give people like this cold shoulder in the house. She said actually, I have a quote that she said in the house that's kind of funny. She said that I'm terrifying, and hold on. Okay, she said she's going to be a subtle cunt to everyone in the house. And I was like, okay, that's fairly interesting. So for those of you that don't know what like a subtle cunt is, it's basically, like I just said, like giving the cold shoulder. When someone asks you if you want food, just basically say, no, I'm good, and then like cook right in front of them, walk into a room to make them feel awkward. She says she's going to do stuff like that. So Elena is definitely still on Jessica and Cody's side, at least right now. Although Elena did talk to Paul, and I'm pretty sure they kind of hashed it out a little bit. But then Paul went right over to his other lackeys and were basically like, yeah, so Mark and Elena just talked to me. And they're like, I mean, you guys basically know how Paul operates at this point. All right, so another interesting thing that happened, when Mark was talking to Paul, they were kind of trying to speculate what this temptation was that Jessica got. And Mark actually guessed correctly, which is kind of interesting. So one of the things that he mentioned was that, oh, well, maybe if Jessica's on the block and it's like the end of the week, maybe she can halt the eviction and reset the week. And I was like, oh my God, someone finally got it. And it was Mark. I'm actually really proud of him. Another thing is, this one's actually kind of funny. When they were still hashing out ideas, Mark, Paul, and Elena were in the room at the time. One of them mentioned that, oh, well, maybe she can replace both of your nominees come eviction night. And Paul was like, no, that would never, a replacement of nominees would never happen during eviction night. And I was like, coup d'etat, anybody? So I know Paul hasn't watched the previous seasons, but I just thought that was kind of pretty funny. He's like, yeah, that would be really fucked up. And I'm like, yeah, it kind of was messed up when that did happen. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's basically it. Before Jessica revealed to the house that she had the temptation, she actually did tell Cody, and this is Jessica's speculation in her head. She told Cody that if Julie was to ask her a question, she and Ramses was the one to have gone home. She said that she would have told Julie that she had a temptation from the house, and she thinks that's why Julie asked her the question. So just a little funny tidbit. well, not funny, an interesting tidbit. So, you know, maybe production was listening in and they're like, oh, yeah, let's have that happen. So definitely ask Jessica a question. Okay, yep. Yeah, that's basically it at this point, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I know there's not a lot of information right now, but it is looking like Jessica and Cody will be on the block if one of them does not win this temptation competition at this point. So if you enjoyed this video, please click like down below. If you did not like this video, it's fine. I don't really care. Hit the dislike button down below. If you want more future updates, hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button down below. I'll be making another video tomorrow revealing who won this temptation competition. Who are the 3 nominees, because we're having 3 nominees again, which is always fun. And that's basically it. Until next time, peace.